I think that says September 28th, 8:36. Guess we're getting ready to change the time back. I hope the government gives me my dime back. This is take 5. About brain dead from that other phone. I only had to call them and be on the phone with them 4 or 5 days in a row. I feel like I'm dealing with a bunch of college freshmen. They're reading off a manual. And I was a college freshman once. But I'm a little old-fashioned. I like the girls. Alright, hope I muted that good enough. I think the reason I'm having to remake this again is I have a natural whistle. Blows through my false teeth. I had a really good idea. But once again, I don't take notes. Never have. So when I was in college, my professor would say this: if you cannot afford to buy the books, just write down every word I say. Because every question on that test, T-E-S-T test, not text. And so somehow I got through all college without a loan, borrowed books, read, took notes like crazy. And in that way I programmed my brain. It's just like right now, with what's going on in the entire world. How in the world do I keep it together? Do I learn to write? I learn to read? I learn to understand? And if there's any college students out there, or would-be students, I developed my mind early in life. And now as I retreat, because trust me, I'm getting close to that mark in the Bible. 70 years. 80 if you can do it. And every time you hit up one of them scholars, what about these people that are 110 years old? Does not compute. Does not compute. Anyway, I had something I was really going to talk about, and then I realized it was something I didn't want to talk about. So I'm not going to talk about it. But I do want to do a shout out to Cindy, and hopefully I can put a link up. If you already don't know how to get a hold of her through me. She loves jewelry. No, she's a jewelry nurse. Which means she takes old jewelry, repairs it, shines it up, gives it a new look. She bought a coin for me. Nobody's ever done that. She gifted it to me. I guess it'll get here eventually. I don't want to talk about what I don't want to talk about. That's not because I'm afraid of getting bad. YouTube's going to go after somebody that gets 12 views once or twice a week. I don't think so. Sometimes I just want to get on here and no, I don't want to look at myself. Although I do have these glasses and I'm getting used to. And this is a perfectly good shirt. It's only 12 or 15 years old. Perfectly good t-shirt. So why should I give it away? Well, it has ring around the collar. And it was a documentary where all the, not only the clothes, plastic bottles, are being sent to the third world countries. And, there's two sides to every story. Let's talk about this story. And I don't have the link up. Putaloma? The city of silver. It was built on top of the hill. True story. I may post the link. I know most of you that follow me, anytime I'm lazy. I just want to get it out there and I'll fix it up later and maybe make a video out of it. I don't know. They were always looking for the city of gold. They found the mountain of silver. Isn't that amazing? I think it might have been. And I don't know how these things form. No, I watched the La Palma volcano the last 10 days just because I took geology in college. And it wasn't because there was a pretty good little lab assistant. It was actually interesting. It's just like man-made diamonds. Man-made emeralds, rubies. They're actually real. They just learn the process how to do it. And they're prettier and more pristine than the real thing. And so it's like, and I'll post the link, but it's if you look at crystal, man-made, and I have a few of those. I think I have the rejects. Story of my life. But I got a really good price on them. Because I could maybe polish them out. But I wasn't so tired and lazy anymore. I mean, you start working when you're 8 years old. Help your dad and your mom, and you drag and brush. This is a true story from somebody doing history on Bob Jones' Prophet. I was 8 years old. And he was cutting a tree down that was hanging over the house that my uncle and I built, my grandparents. And he didn't trust a little twerp like me. Pull the, you can wrap the rope around the limbs, and nobody believes me on this. Nobody will trust me. Although I see a lot of trees in the neighborhood that need that. But I tied it in. I pulled it out. And he had it all cut perfect. And he had hit that wedge Not 8 years old, Daddy say. Sonny does. And I mean, that tree came down and he went straight up in the air. He let go of the rope. Remember, he's the United States Marine Corps. And he fell down. And he was moaning and groaning. Because he dislocated his shoulder. I didn't know anything about shoulders or anything. I guess I was kind of always been an adrenaline junkie. Anyway. He said, because the rope was still up there. He said, tie this around my arm. Don't ask me. But I said, is this tight enough? He goes, yes. I guess I watched too many John Wayne movies. Yes, I said John Wayne movies. And he said, just grab that rope and pull on it. And I remember I grabbed that rope and I jumped on it with all my weight and all my strength, and I heard a rifle shot. After he got through cussing me out. I didn't mean for you to pull it that hard. I said, does it feel better? He goes, yeah, I guess I want you to fix it up good enough so I can get to the hospital. I think after a few 6 packs of beer and a week later, he felt better, and we'd probably saved $2,000 or $3,000 and made a couple $100 off that job. So don't panic. Don't react. Don't get into the moment. Don't think you're going to save the world. Well, I knew if I got on camera, just like I always have all my life, I got nothing to say until you make me say something. All right, that's a good memory. So you have a good day. Don't you worry about all this La Palma and the Revelations 8:8 and the Great Mountain was thrown into the sea, and we just got a hair job by an asteroid size of a mountain. Because you never know. I remember a guy that got swallowed by a whale. Came out after 3 days, and I bet you that whale was glad that he came out. He showed up in Nineveh, and they were so freaked out by what he looked like and what he had to say, they didn't have another judgment for 120 years. So you decide, because I gotta go.